So welcome to my Konmari series where I'm going through the life-changing magic of tidying up, and I'm using the Konmari method to declutter and then organize my home. So if you missed the introductory video to this series, I will go ahead and link it below where I talk a little bit about the method described in this book and what I'm hoping to get out of it. Today will be the first decluttering video. So one of the things that is unique about this method is that Marie wants you to go through your items by category as opposed to by room, so you really have a great idea of how much stuff in each category you actually have. So the first category she wants you to go through is clothing, and she says this because most people have way more clothing than they need, and most people don't have a lot of emotional attachment to their clothing. She's really not big on deviating from her method, but I am going to go ahead and do that for this first category. I'm going to tell you why. First off, I'm doing Project 333, where I am wearing 33 articles of clothing for 3 months, and I am almost through the first month of that, and I really don't want to pull all of my other clothing out and look at it and get it mixed up with my capsule and kind of offset that process because it's been going really well. And I actually got rid of probably between a third to a half of my clothing that I had when I started my most recent Project 333. However, I know there's definitely clothing that I can still get rid of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of split this clothing category up into two sections. So the first section I'm going to go through now, I'm going to go through some of the items of clothing that are not in my capsule but are not packed away in a box. So I have some coats, I have some nicer clothing that I didn't want to box up, I rather would hang, and I also have some special occasion clothing that is stored with my costumes that I have not looked at to purge throughout this process. I'm also going to do any of my clothing that's not counted as part of my 33 items, so things like underwear, pajamas, activewear, and things to wear around the house. So I am going to do a couple of those categories, and then the rest of the items I'm going to come back and catch closer to the end of the series when I'm getting ready to build my next capsule wardrobe for January, February, and March. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get out all of my clothing. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys where I keep my clothing, and this is the main area of clothing. This is our master bedroom closet. It's a nice big walk-in closet. This is my capsule wardrobe. I have some bag storage up there, shoe storage over there, and then this side is my husband's, mostly shirts and pants. I'm not requiring my husband to participate in this process with me, although I would love it if he would decide to join me at some point in time later. So this is not going to change too much. And then down here in the bottom I have this box of capsule wardrobe clothing, which I'm not going to open, a red bag of shoes, which I am going to look at, my wedding dress, another box of wintry items, which I'm not going to be going through right now because those are mostly keeping in case I travel somewhere cold, and then my crinolines, which I'm going to be going through, but I will probably keep them all. And then back on this shelf are my purses, and purses are in this category, so they will be gone through as well. This is the dresser that my husband and I share. The top is a disaster area right now, but we'll get to that later. He has these 3 drawers on the side and the bottom drawer, and I have these 2 in this top corner. So in the second drawer, oh hi bird, I have just been kind of using it as like a storage area, keeping some of the clutter that I was keeping up here to kind of keep this top area decluttered, and that hasn't worked out so hot. And then in the second drawer I have kind of my pajamas, my camisoles, my loungewear, my swimsuit, and my swimsuit cover up. And lastly, I have one pull-out drawer next to my bed where I keep all of my undergarments and my socks and stuff. And I'm hoping to be able to move these over into the dresser so that this drawer is able to store something else. So the next place I have items in this category is my front hall closet. So on this side, we have some shoe racks, one for my husband and one for me. And right now the only shoes I have out are the ones in my capsule wardrobe. Those are probably all going to be keepers, but I'll look through them anyways. And then off to the side we have some coats. These ones in the front are my husband's, and then you can see my Letterman jacket, and I do have a couple of winter coats back there that will be going through as well, and then of course lots of other things from other categories that we will get to later. The last place I have clothing is in this closet in our guest room. Half of it is clothing from my in-laws for when they come to visit, and then the other half is costumes, mostly in the front. These I'm going to go through later in the hobby section, so I definitely have a lot more emotional attachment to those. But way in the back there are some, focus camera, there we go, some actual clothing items that have not seen the light of day in a while, so I'm going to go through those. So these are the wardrobe items that I'm going to be going through for this part of the process, not including shoes and purses. So I have a lot of outerwear, a lot of special occasion wear, and other things that I have not been through in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each piece, touch it, decide if it sparks joy, and if it does, those are going to be the items that I will be keeping. And when I get done, I will show you what is staying and what is not. So let's go through the things I've decided to keep first. I have 2 jackets, a lightweight one, and then a heavier weight wool one, which I made and I absolutely adore. I have my hot pink velvet 1950 suit. I don't really wear it a lot, but it does fill me with joy, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it for now and see if I can get myself to wear more often. I have my interview outfit, which includes a black and white striped sweater and a black pair of pants, which again I don't wear very often, but it does make me feel awesome when I'm going to an interview, so we're keeping that. This seafoam green dress, which I kept out to wear to a wedding, and I absolutely adore it, so it is staying. Some hangers. And then out of my kind of, I guess, special occasion wear, I've decided to keep these 4 dresses. There's a black dress which I made for a bridesmaid's dress for a friend's wedding, and that may get a refashion. Then the white dress is a wedding dress I made for our 5-year anniversary to do Varanus on the beach, and it makes me happy. My 1950s evening gown, which I made for my very first costume college, is my favorite fancy dress outfit. And then this plaid dress, which I also made for costume college. I don't wear it a lot, but I have a lot of sentimental attachment for, so I'm probably going to revisit this item when I go through my costumes, because it's kind of on the edge, costume or clothing, but for now I'm going to keep it. And then out of my winter weight coats, I decided just to keep one. The black one, I've had it for a long time, but it looks great with everything. Alright, the next section of clothing I'm working on is purses, so I have them kind of organized. I have my spare wallet, some smaller clutches, small bags, bigger bags, my more regular purses, and also I have one messenger bag. So I'm going to go through and purge some of these purses. Alright, so here are the purses I'm keeping that spark joy. I have my wallet, my 2 clutches, my vintage traveling purse, my little black and brown purse I'm using right now, my bird purse, which is my favorite and I will keep until it dies. I have another, this is my messenger bag, which is awesome. I don't use it a lot, but it's great for carrying on bigger things. And my happy citrus fruit purse. Ah. The ones I'm not keeping are my pinup girl clothing teal bag. In theory, I love this, but I don't actually love carrying it around. One fossil purse that I was given for Christmas a few years ago, which is really pretty, but I just don't wear a lot of brown things. I prefer black and navy as my neutral, so I don't use it very often. And then one more vintage purse, which again, I love in theory, but too impractical for everyday use. We are on to shoes, and these are all of my shoes. And I actually feel like I don't have a ton of shoes, especially when you consider the amount of shoes the average American woman has, and that some of my shoes are costuming shoes, but I am going to go through them. I did go through when I did my capsule wardrobe, and I got rid of a couple of pairs that were just kind of like dead, so those kind of shoes are already gone. It's just left to decide whether these shoes spark joy or not. Shoes are done, yay! And these are the ones I'm keeping. So there you go, just a few pair, including the middle row, which are all costuming shoes. And these are the shoes that are going. I have these kitty shoes, which used to spark joy, but I haven't worn them in forever, and I don't like wearing heels that big. Again, with the polka dot shoes with the little red swirlies, cute, but I just don't wear heels. I have one pair of barn dance shoes, which are awesome, except the little things have fallen off the heel, so they're not really useful anymore, and I don't really ballroom dance too much. One pair of sandals, and these white shoes, which are actually part of my capsule collection, but as you can see, they're really dying, and I looked at them and I decided their time is done and they no longer spark joy. So I'm going to be getting rid of 5 pairs of shoes. So these are all the items that are going to be leaving my house. Ta-da! Now, Marie doesn't recommend organizing at this point in the process, except apparently with clothes. So she recommends starting on the left side of your closet with your longer, heavier items and moving towards lighter, shorter items on the right. Let's see. I don't know if it brings me joy, but it's organized, so we'll try it. There's a little bit of my overflow stuff. My shoes, which there are less of. And here are the purses I'm keeping. She recommends storing your purses kind of like nesting dolls inside of each other. So I have one inside of the other there. I have my wallet and my 2 clutches in my large messenger bag, and then my other purse I'm keeping. And my little brown and black one is the one I'm using right now, so it is out. So this is my drawer, which is now organized. I have my camisoles and my pajamas on this side, and way in the back is my swimsuit, my cover-up, you can't see. I have my underwear and my socks and my bras, all folded Konmari style. So we'll see how this goes. My little drawer organizer is completely empty, but these things are going to live in here for the time being. Alright, so that is it for the first section of the Konmari Challenge clothing. I did actually end up getting rid of more stuff than I thought that I would. And again, I'll go back and revisit the things I didn't visit closer to when I am doing my next capsule wardrobe. And also the other things I didn't do belts and I didn't do hats, but she goes back to accessories again later in another section, so I've decided to just group those with the rest of the accessories during the later portion of the challenge, partially because I'm really tired right now, and also I have a lot of hats, so we'll come back to that.